Hello everyone. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're new to my channel. I'm Claire, and I'm interested in both calligraphy and true crime, so I've combined the two things into this series I call Crime and Calligraphy with Claire. Sometimes the calligraphy has nothing really to do with anything, but I try to tie it in somehow. So, last time we discussed the failed Bonnie and Clyde, Antoinette Martinez and her boyfriend Cameo Kleins. They were schemy, but not very good at evading capture, and were caught after the second murder they committed. May they stay in jail forever unless they can truly be rehabilitated. Not very nice people. Anyway, I'm gonna do a heavy one today. You can tell by his nicknames alone. This guy is a real piece of work with many monikers, including the Alligator Man, Bluebeard of Texas, and of course, the Butcher of Elmendorf. Yeah, Butcher. Buckle up, kiddies, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Disclaimer, today's story discusses murder, animal cruelty, and other inappropriate material, including adult language, so viewer discretion is advised. So, first things first, a quick geography lesson. San Antonio has a lot of little towns and things near, in, and around it. One such town is called Elmendorf, a town with a current population of about 1,800 people. Fun fact, it was founded in 1885 and named after a man who went on to become mayor of San Antonio, Henry Elmendorf. It's located only about 20 minutes from the heart of downtown San Antonio, so it's practically a part of the city, but it's technically its own little place. Joseph Douglas Ball, aka Joe, was born January 5th, 1896. His family was one of the founding families of Elmendorf, and his father built the first cotton gin in the town. His family found success in the town investing in real estate and owning several businesses. As a child, Joe was known as a loner with an affinity for guns. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of guns, but I don't think everyone who likes guns is automatically a psychopath. For Joe, though, big ol' red flag. He enjoyed shooting pigeons off the line, according to his nephew Bucky, so it follows that he wanted to see a bit more action and signed up to fight in World War I. He served only a few years and was honorably discharged in 1919 and returned to Elmendorf, where, not long after, he found a need to supply people with booze after Prohibition took effect. As a bootlegger, he was quite successful selling whiskey and beer. Elton Coode Jr. reported that Joe hired a black handyman named Clifton Wheeler, who lived in fear of Ball. Coode claimed that Ball would shoot at Wheeler's feet and make him dance. Cool. Yeah, it's another big-ass red flag. When Prohibition ended, Joe converted his bootlegging business into a legitimate tavern called the Sociable Inn. This lovely little place would have the usual bar scene, drunken card games, plus the occasional cockfight and orgies. You know, nice place. So I guess Joe felt the need to spruce the place up or something, because he went down to the water area where alligators had been seen from time to time and caught a few, brought them back to his bar, and kept them inside of a barbed wire fence in a concrete pool behind the tavern. Some reports claimed that Joe would charge people to see the 5 alligators, even feeding them live freaking animals like cats and dogs. I don't know how much truth there was to this, but man. Now, there have been normal, nice people who like to handle dangerous animals. Steve Irwin comes to mind. But then there are people like Joe Exotic. Of the two, I think our Joe is more like the other Joe. Red fucking flag. So anyway, now Joe's running a bar, bringing in customers to see the gators, and life's looking pretty good, right? Well, something was missing from Joe Ball's life. What do you think it was? Oh yes, a lady friend, a special someone. Our Joe needed some good old-fashioned lovin'. Joe was no stranger to infatuation. He'd had flings with waitresses before, and it's believed that he had somewhat of a relationship with the woman who helped him run the bar, Minnie Goddard, who everyone called Big Minnie. But one day, he met a woman 15 years younger than him, and it was like, Minnie who? This new woman was Dolores Goodwin, but people called her Buddy. Minnie did not like her one bit, and she made it known. Buddy loved Ball, even though one night he threw a bottle at her head, giving her a scar down her face from eye to neck. How many red flags have we got now? 4? In the summer of 1937, Big Minnie mysteriously disappeared. Ball claimed that she was pregnant with a black man's baby and at a hospital in Corpus Christi. Joe and Buddy were married in September, and it was then that the truth was revealed. Joe had taken Minnie to the beach and murdered her so that she wouldn't make any more trouble for them. Cool. Okay, so Buddy's husband, who loves guns, caught some alligators, threw a freaking bottle at her head, has now admitted to committing murder. Who could have seen this coming? But wait, there's more. Alright, so Joe and Buddy are married, and in January she lost an arm in an auto accident. Shortly after, in April of that same year, she disappeared too. Weird. Not long after, Joe is now seen hanging around with another barmaid named Hazel Brown. And guess what happened to her? Oh yeah, she disappeared. So now we've got 3 missing women, one of whom Joe confessed to Buddy that he'd murdered, and people are getting suspicious. Finally, in September of 1938, a man reported to a Bexar County deputy sheriff that Joe had left a barrel near the man's sister's barn, and that the barrel smelled, quote, like something was dead inside. Given the missing women and his connection to the barrel, Deputy Gray and Deputy Sheriff John Clevenhagen both drove out to talk to him. First, they went to investigate the barrel, but it seemed that Joe had gotten wind of the situation because it was gone. They went to talk to Ball himself, whom of course denied any connection or wrongdoing. So next, they went to speak to the man's sister, who confirmed the story about the barrel. The men returned to talk to Joe and tell him they were taking him to San Antonio for questioning. But as we know, Joe loves guns and didn't want to take any chances, so he asked if he could close down the bar first. He grabbed a beer, took a few swigs, and then took a .45 from behind the counter, placed it to his chest, pulled the trigger, and dropped to the floor, dead. And that's it. No trial needed since he took his own life. But is that it? If you know anything about small towns, you know rumors spread like wildfires. While there was never a trial and the main suspect was never brought to justice, there were plenty of rumors to keep things interesting. Remember Clifton Wheeler, Joe's handyman that he used to shoot at his feet to make him dance? Well, he claimed to have been coerced under threat to help Joe dispose of one of the women's bodies, Hazel Brown. They allegedly dismembered her on the San Antonio River and burned her body to ash. He claimed to also have located the remains of Minnie and her unborn child. When the 2 deputies and 2 others searched for Joe's property, they found an axe covered in blood and hair near the alligator pond, which was surrounded by meat. This discovery led to the rumor that Joe had dismembered the women's bodies and fed them to the gators. Now, there is no evidence to support these claims, but many people still believe it happened to this day. 2 of the other women, Dolores and Buddy, were apparently tracked down and confirmed to be alive and well. However, they also found a scrapbook full of pictures of dozens of women who had also disappeared, and the police believed that perhaps some of the women in there could have been killed by Ball as well. But nothing was ever confirmed. Police did find the body of Minnie where Wheeler said it would be, and Wheeler was sentenced to 2 years in prison as an accessory to murder. The gators were taken to the San Antonio Zoo, and for years, reporters tried to get more information about the murders, the gators, and the man who was Joe Ball. But most relatives wouldn't cooperate. So, there are plenty of rumors, lots of speculation, and many unanswered questions here. But for the most part, that is indeed the story of the Butcher of Elmendorf, Joe Ball. Seems like a great guy, really. May Joe rest in torment, the douchebag. I mean, really, even if he didn't kill any of the other women, he treated women like trash. He was a trash person, so I hope he rots away like the trash he was. And now we've come to the part where I honor the victims. I really feel for Minnie, especially as a pregnant woman, how awful to be killed and not get to meet your child. And she always had done a great job running the bar, and she could hold her own against the punks and drunks that frequented the sociable inn. She was a badass, no doubt. Rest in peace, Minnie and her sweet baby. I wish Joe hadn't dealt you such a shitty card. As for Hazel, the reports that I read said that she accused Joe of killing Minnie and Buddy, and that's why he killed her. Poor Hazel was just trying to hold him accountable for his actions, call him on his shit, and he killed her out of rage. Sucks, man. Again, Hazel seemed like a strong woman who just got in with a terrible dude. I'm sorry for the fate you met too, Hazel. Rest in peace. So for my calligraphy piece today, in honor of the 2 badasses whose lives were unfortunately cut short by dickhead Joe Ball, I used a quote that I think honors not only them, but all women. A real woman is whatever the hell she wants to be. Damn straight. I think for a lot of us, a lot of my life especially, women have been pitted against each other, probably a result of the patriarchy trying to keep us down. We're always told not to be like other girls or whatever. It's garbage. Women should be what they want to be. You want to be a makeup artist? Do it. You want to be a lawyer? Do it. Do what makes you happy. Wear what makes you happy. Be who you are. Don't let anyone tell you it's too girly or not girly enough or whatever. I know I want my little girl to grow up to be strong, independent, and self-satisfied. The world needs to stop trying to define what a woman ought to be. And same for men, but that's not really what today is about. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story. I mean, found it interesting and informative. It's so weird to talk about enjoying true crime, but whatever. I'm probably only going to have one video this month because April has been crazy busy for me. It's been gorgeous here most of the time, and I'm soaking in the good weather before summer hits. It's always brutal here. We have often have days close to or over 100 degrees, so I am absolutely loving these days with 68, 70 degree weather and sunny and breezy. It's been great. So I will see you next time. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Please don't kill your lovers just because you're bored and want a new one. Don't feed anyone to alligators, even if that's just a rumor. And please, please, please live well. Have a lovely week. Bye-bye.